Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of One Piece Weekly with myself, Manny, Ponle, Abby, and we have a very special guest in Ron today. So today's chapter is called Conqueror's Haki, chapter 1010, which is a quick note on about Law, noticing Zoro's durability, constantly got reference points in regards to how strong or how long Zoro can actually last. For example, during Arlong Park, Arlong making a note in regards to why he's still able to fight after the Mihawk scar. And then we also get him in Sabodi, where he's still able to fight even though he was barely standing up because of what happened with Kuma. So Zoro being able to maintain a standing position and still being able to fight after the attack by Big Mom and Kaido, it's not a surprise to anybody, I don't think.
For Law to get a hit in, especially after what he said in the last chapter, how that kind of changes the game for the Devil Fruits and the Haki aspect. I think Law getting a hit in definitely shows that his Haki is not something to play with, and his Devil Fruit is still something to be reckoned with, regardless of the fact that maybe like their Haki, he can't move them, he can still do damage to them.
From the first time that Law, or Demlaw and Law fought Kaido, the thing they said is that I will injure you from the inside. Law's power or Law's Haki in the way that he uses his sword. Is this just another form of Haki, the way that he uses it?
I don't know. I think it's his Devil Fruit, but because he has a certain level of Haki, it allows him to do certain things to Kaido. Does that make sense? So, okay, he can't move them in his room, but he's able to kind of do his Gamma Knife, which is an attack which from the inside, which is still something mad. You understand? So I still think his Haki comes into play, but it's not a Haki attack. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That we see Law save Zoro again. As Zoro is cutting up Prometheus, Kaido notices that Big Mom is dropping. He makes a comment about Big Mom, I guess, being useless after she saves me. The conversation that Prometheus and Big Mom have about Zeus. Just basically a bum. Zeus is a big bum.
Like him anymore.
Like I'm because obviously we already have the established relationship between Nami and Zeus.
Zeus.
Zeus
I think it's definitely a bum.
Yeah, Zeus is definitely a bum, but I think Nami eventually will get him, because at the end of the chapter we get Luffy telling Zoro and Law, go downstairs, I got this, and I think when they eventually go downstairs they're gonna take Zeus
The lunchbox,
the lunchbox, the lunchbox full of Zeus. Take it downstairs, and then somehow Nami's gonna get it, because a few chapters ago we had Nami saying that this lightning won't do, I need more lightning. And I think that more lightning is gonna come in the form of Zeus.
Definitely.
And then obviously keeping up with the theme that we be getting in Wano, with people getting individual chapters, and I think eventually when Nami does get Zeus, Nami will have her individual chapter then in Wano. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to.
And everyone is leveling up in each of their chapters.
Yeah, and with people like Usopp and Nami, who are not strong at all, their leveling up is with their tools and their equipment and their understanding of fighting, I guess. Obviously, Usopp got the level up with the observation Haki.
Yeah, I think he might level up that proper.
Yeah,
so sick.
So I would assume that Usopp might just get a bit better because I don't think he's acknowledged he has observation Haki, has he?
I think he knows, no. Just like Zoro found out that he may have Conqueror's Haki. Usopp is none the wiser either, so I
think that acknowledgement might come, and I think that, and I can only think of Mark bringing that up to Usopp. He notices something and lets Usopp know, because I can't imagine anybody else that's around.
But then Usopp is smart, so he might figure out himself that he can do something.
I don't think he would. And Usopp is smart, but I don't think he would be like, "We'll have Conqueror's Haki, now I know what to do with it." Not Conqueror's Haki, sorry.
Observation.
But Usopp being Usopp, he might have Conqueror's Haki.
But he might be giving it out like Oprah gives out cars, fam. No way.
You give
no way.
Everybody.
No. I'm not okay with that. That's when One Piece is gonna come any regular shonen and go outside like AOT. Hell no.
Let's not get into that.
Before they got to Onigashima, like right as they got there, he does do a feat where he takes out a couple watchmen because he's using observation Haki. So I'm not sure if he's already a bit adept in it already, or where it's one of those things where he's just using it. He just does it.
I think in order for him to like improve or sharpen it is for him to actually understand that he has it. There needs to come a point, because eventually we're gonna get a chapter or a few chapters of Usopp and his dad. And obviously, I'm assuming Usopp is going to end up becoming a better sniper, a better shooter than his dad. I think that's what the story is leading to. And in order for that to happen, is that he needs to get better observation haki. And I think he will eventually have to acknowledge that he has it. And at this point, the only way I feel like he'll be able to acknowledge it is via someone like Marco informing him. Because someone that's got experience or somebody that knows what it is and blah, 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 that for him to inform it. I'm not saying that he needs to train up and become great at it in this chapter, but he needs to acknowledge it, because eventually we're going to get to Elbaf, and eventually he's going to meet his dad, and eventually he's going to one-bang his dad, and then
What's going on? Why is everyone fighting their dad? What's going on here?
Oh no,
Usopp
has to bang his dad. He has to.
Why?
What do you mean why?
You're right. Like,
He hates his dad.
He doesn't.
I hate his dad.
I want to say Usopp hates his dad, but even though Usopp understands that his dad left because he wanted to be a pirate, and his mom kept telling him, "Oh, your dad, he's a great dad." He left. At the end of the day, he left his mom and his child
Sick, yeah.
and his mom was sick. His mom died. He hasn't seen his dad. Usopp, and obviously a lot of the issues that Usopp has is because his dad left. Usopp needs to bang his dad. Like I will actually be disappointed if that's not the first thing he does when he sees him.
I'm down for that.
Disappointed. That's what he needs to do, just bang him one time. But yeah, so eventually Usopp has to get to that point. And observation haki, I believe, is the key for him to get to that. And eventually we will get a Usopp chapter, the way everyone's getting a chapter in one. And I think that chapter of Usopp will be about observation haki.
But I don't know if he's actually going to notice here. Because I mean, first Luffy upgrades his haki, then Zoro finds out he has Conqueror's haki, and now what? Usopp found out he has haki too?
Yes.
It's a bit.
No, it's because obviously haki comes in when you are under extreme stress or extreme pressure, and the stronger your opponent, the stronger your haki gets. And I think everything that's happening in Wano is a lead up to whatever happens in Elbaf. Obviously, Luffy needs to become a great pirate in order to give.
This is where it'll be certified. Luffy will be Yonko.
Yeah, to come a certified Yonko and to become a great pirate. For him to become a great pirate, his crew have to be good pirates as well. And I think everything that happens in at the end of Wano, they need to be comparable to the red hair pirates and to the black bear pirates, because I feel like this should be the final arc of having any serious level up for individuals. Yeah, so Prometheus asking Big Mom for a favor, and then Kid sees clouds forming. My assumption is that Big Mom is just creating another home.
You think?
What else could it be? That's my assumption.
Haki, man.
Huh?
Conqueror's haki, man. No, I think the clouds were forming for Kaido and Luffy, man.
No, because
hold on, let me look at this
because when the clouds were forming, Luffy was still knocked out.
Are you sure?
100%.
I wanted to ask this, yeah. When Luffy's knocked out, does that mean he can't use Conqueror's haki?
No, he can.
I don't.
Yeah, because that shows there's been a point where he's used it as he was knocked out.
Yeah, he can.
Which is why I thought that Zoro wasn't the one that used it. It was Luffy at first. I thought Luffy used it, and we all thought Zoro did, because this is the second time where we think Zoro used Conqueror's haki, but then it was someone else or something else.
The first time I never thought it was Zoro. It was just Brook being confused and Oda
making a joke.
Being cheeky. That's all it really was. But yeah, so the kid notices the clouds are forming, and literally the next panel is of Luffy still knocked out.
Yeah, but I feel. But this particular knocked out he's still glaring at me. And the last time we saw that, he actually used Conqueror's haki when he was unconscious. Yeah. So I think that I'm not saying that it is, but I think that it's closer to the Conqueror's haki over the Big Mom creating a homie. Does that make sense?
So what do you think Prometheus is asking Big Mom? Like what?
I read somewhere, or I heard somewhere, that he could be asking her to take him to the fire so that he can feed. You know how he eats flames?
Yeah.
So there's fire where Orochi is, so he can go there. Can you take me there to eat? I mean, because otherwise, what would be to make another Zeus?
Or to take the soul power that maybe.
Yeah.
That is a shot, and if she does end up going to take Prometheus to the flames, I think we might get a CP0 versus Big Mom.
Love that.
That'll be interesting.
Because I don't know what Kid and Killer are doing with Big Mom. They're not fighting. They can't.
But then we still need Kid and Killer to do something. So
that's what I want to say. I want to see Kid and Killer take Big Mom. You know. If Luffy is taking Kaido with that Conqueror's haki, I think that the technique that Luffy has just learned, Kid might already know it.
Huh?
Already knows it. Okay.
Wait. What technique? The Ryu?
The Conqueror's haki. Yeah. It's just a wild shot.
Kid,
yeah.
You think Kid knows Conqueror's haki? If Kid has Conqueror's haki,
Kid has Conqueror's haki. We know that for sure.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we know that for sure.
Well, everyone's just getting Conqueror's haki for what? Okay, cool. So can you think he can use?
Yeah, remember Kaido said when he knocked out Luffy, he said, "Oh, this he's got just like
Conqueror's Haki too, yeah.
It's like kid. And I was thinking that, sorry to cut you off, bro, but I think that in Kid's fight with Kaido was a lot closer than we think, and that's what he's actually doing. But that's what I'm saying in that aspect. So I think that he can use that technique against Big Mom.
It's just copying. Just get your own technique. I don't want to see Kid doing the exact same thing that Luffy did. That wouldn't impress me. Just I don't know, advance your devil fruit or something. But I don't know. I'm not excited for Kid.
I get what you mean about Kid. I don't know if I'm too excited about Kid. I still want to see more. I feel from Kid. I don't know why.
No.
The only reason why I don't think Kid has that ability is because he would have shown it by now. No.
How would he have learnt it? Because do you think he learned it in prison as well?
No, I think he would have learned it through his fight with Shanks. This is how I would build Kid up. Does that make sense? To be a strong character. Yeah. Because right now he's looking shit.
Yeah,
that's overpowered. That's overpowered.
And no, he's meant. I felt like Kid has always meant to be the one to be rivaling Luffy. So it would make sense for him to be that
at
strong.
The beginning, yeah.
But at this point, I don't know how Oda's gonna write that in, because why hasn't he used it yet? Why didn't he damage Kaido before?
Because I think he has been. That's the thing. When he did that sumo thing, he was. Kaido did take damage from that. It's just that we don't know really how. Does that make sense?
Oh, but he couldn't have had it for that long and not be at least stronger than Luffy. Like,
because then you can argue that Killer damaged Kaido when he done that.
They all did.
He did. They all did. Every single one of them damaged him.
I know, no, but not in the way that
Luffy did.
Luffy's doing it right now. If Kid is able to do what Luffy's doing right now, why hasn't he done it before?
Plus, if you notice, people. Go on, sorry,
maybe not to the level that Luffy's doing, because he fully understands it. But I feel that in general, through Kid's fights, Oda could easily write in that the Conqueror's Haki is just leaking out.
You know how canons. The only reason why I'd say he doesn't have the same technique is that the technique is noticeable. When Odin saw Roger and Whitebeard fighting, and they were using that attack where they didn't even touch swords, he said, wow, their swords aren't even touching. And then we all saw Luffy clearly not touching Kaido when he punched him. So I'm pretty sure someone would have noticed if Kid was able to damage Kaido without touching him or without using his actual fist. Doubt he would have been able to just use it and no one saw it, or at least we all felt it. Like, we all saw that Luffy was using a really strong attack. Kid can't just be using it in silence. Like, it's not how the attack works. So I don't know. Very
true. We don't even know what his devil fruit is.
Isn't it metal? I mean, you could use the same techniques that Magneto does, and I swear Magneto takes things from inside the body as well.
I wonder if he's able to take iron from something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, from inside the body. That would be like the next level devil fruit. That'll be sick.
That's why we said we don't actually know what his power is. Like, if his power is magnetism, then he should be doing a lot more than he's actually doing. Why is he creating?
Yeah, he's literally just creating
one Power Rangers Megazord
lunchbox. Like, that's what he's been doing. Literally, the cheap version of Frankie, pretty much. Like, pretty much, because he's just creating like unsustainable mechas. That's it.
Let's go.
Let's move on to Kiki. Shitoyu Ashura. My guy Zoro pulled out Ashura for the first time in 500 chapters. We've only seen him do it twice before. Once against Kaku in chapter 417, another time against one of the pacifistas in chapter 510. Exactly 500 chapters ago, and he tends to use this attack when he's literally against the rope or wants to one-shot his opponent. So he does this attack that I'm sure gassed up anybody that's a One Piece fan would absolutely love that panel, because I can't lie, all I saw was the swords and the arm, and I was like, bro, man,
it was done.
I was getting gassed from that moment.
Done. And
obviously he attacks Kaido, cuts him, gets him a scar. Kaido, obviously read the mention before, mentions that, you have Conqueror's Haki as well, or as Ron puts it, ask the question, do you have Conqueror's Haki? You have Conqueror's Haki too. Thoughts? What? As soon as you guys read that chapter, how did you feel? Or that panel, sorry.
Yo, it was hype.
Chills. I got goosebumps. I was like, what? Like, I always knew Zoro would have Conqueror's Haki. I just didn't know this would be the way to reveal it. That's what I'd say. That's my goal. This is what I've been waiting for. Like, for him to show his skills, because this whole time he's just been fighting bombs or, chilling with other women. now we can actually see. Now we can actually see his real skills. The reason why we all love Zoro. So, and it was Kaido's reaction that topped it off. It will leave a scar. I mean, he's a bit cheeky as well. He was like, "That should be enough for you."
That should be enough for you.
That's what I was saying.
It's like, you've done enough. Go about your business now. Like, he really takes the piss out of them. I love the way he talks down on them. It's like the trash talk is amazing from Kaido. Like, I think he's one of my favorite trash talkers in a while. Like, you know, like the villain. I think Doffy was probably the last one I really enjoyed. But the way he trash talked, the Luffy and them, oh my god, it's amazing. I love it. It makes me like him way more than other villains.
See, this point, yeah, for me, it was hard, man.
You're a hater. Like,
it
somehow
was
I just get
like,
hate.
It was hard.
Listen,
I don't class myself as a Zoro hater. I just don't like. I feel like Zoro's always been overhyped, always, and you know, I feel like it's my duty to just bring it back to reality.
You're gonna humble.
It's
not even humble because Zoro is a bad guy.
You want to humble Zoro?
Yeah.
Imagine.
The thing is, Zoro is a bad guy. It's undisputed.
Let Ron cook.
You know, Zoro is undisputed. Like, he's a bad guy. I just always feel like we take it a bit too far. Do you understand? Like, for instance, this whole, like, the last 2 chapters have been hype for Zoro. But when you actually take and digest these moments, yeah, if I was to replace Zoro with Luffy, like, it would be like Luffy would do more in this instance. You understand? I think Luffy would have taken that attack.
That's not fair.
Had less damage. Do you understand? But any one of those guys on the rooftop could have taken that attack and been that's the same amount of damage. It's just when Zoro.
You're saying Kid would have taken the same amount of damage 100%. When he got punched by Big Mom and he was done.
I definitely think that.
What are you saying?
He could definitely do the exact same thing as Zoro did. It's just it doesn't make sense to do that because we still have to fight them. It's like I can't be that damaged, but Zoro took that L. Does that make sense?
I disagree. I think Zoro's durability is completely unnatural, and even with
he broke every bone in his body.
Even with Law's comment, saying that he's complete shocked that he's still able to fight. He every single bit of every single
because he's not supposed to be. Do you understand? Like he's that's a feat for Zoro.
Listen, Law is a cold, heartless bastard. Yeah, and even he said, "Relax, just stop going after Prometheus."
I don't think Killer and Law would have been able to take that attack and still be fighting.
And Kids, let's be honest.
Kid, I'm not. I cannot 100%. I cannot 100% say we don't because Kid. The way that order has read Kid should be stronger than Zoro. Kid should be stronger than Zoro. The way that
for me personally, yeah. Listen, if Kid and Zoro were to fight, it's just a matchup thing. If Kid's power is magnet, he should win. Do you understand? He should win if his power is magnet.
What's he gonna do? Attract Zoro's swords?
Yeah, and he's got no swords. Then now what?
Kid wouldn't be able to do that because Zoro's Haki.
Well, that's it then.
Again,
what can I do now?
If Kid is also a conqueror, then certain shit should happen. Do you understand? But
it's not. It's okay. Are we saying that every captain of every ship has to be level with another captain? Like Zoro can fight another captain. Like
yeah. I'm talking. I'm
not saying that.
Out of the worst generation, I think Luffy and Kid are the strongest. Luffy and Kid are the strongest. And then I would argue that Zoro is the first strongest out of the worst.
But you need to. So Kid and Luffy strong is this and this. Like it's not anywhere near each other. I don't think Kid and Luffy are like equals or even like a little bit high. I think there's a big gap between Kid and Luffy.
I don't think there's a big
Why
gap.
are we just giving this guy accolades? What has he done? What has he done?
As soon as Kaido said that he had Conqueror's Haki, it's a different level.
You can't just say someone like you can't just say someone is strong just because they have Conqueror's Haki.
No, but
like.
I think it's more understanding how Oda purposely has been writing Kid. And I think if like obviously all of us have been reading watching One Piece for years and years and years, and we can get a good feel as to how Oda scales his characters. So that's why we can get up to like Pankazan and compare Doffy and compare it to Mihawk. We think that all of us would have said that, Mihawk can be Doffy. We can make these comparisons even though we haven't seen them fight, even though we haven't seen the matchup. We can make this comparison. I feel like we can make the comparison of Kid and Luffy by the way that Oda's portraying Kid next to Luffy often, over and over and over again. I think at this point right now, the simple fact that Luffy has got advanced Conqueror's Haki has put him ahead of Kid just because I don't think Kid has that level of Haki. But Luffy just knows the basics of it at this point. So before that, I just feel like them two were very, very, very close. I don't think there's a huge difference between Kid and Luffy, and I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of one or in the next time we see Kid also has that level of Conqueror's Haki that Luffy has. I think Oda's portrayal of Kid and Luffy has been very, very consistent into him showing us that them two are similar or very, very similar level. So that's why I will argue that Luffy and Kid, the strongest of the West generations. Then you have Zoro below it, and then you have Law. Or you can even say that Law and Zoro are matching, but Law doesn't have Conqueror's Haki.
I don't see Law, but I think even Law and Killer might be closer to each other than Law and.
I don't see how Zoro surviving.
Huh? Are you saying not now, Law and Zoro?
I'm just saying.
You just don't like Zoro. You actually have a problem with Zoro. You actually have a problem with Zoro. Okay, you're saying Law and Zoro fight and Zoro's not winning.
No, now we can, but now we know that Law definitely has stronger. No, Zoro definitely has stronger Haki than Law.
Okay, definitely 100%, and there's no doubt in that. But I just think it's still a tough fight for Zoro. Does that make sense?
I'm not saying he's gonna low diff him, but like definitely just not winning at all.
The way Oda's portrayed Kid, Luffy, and Law is actually a madness because he's given Law's a D in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And so I think I spoke to you guys about this before, but I feel that Kid may also be a D because of the way when his name is spelled when Kaido says it.
Yeah. I literally said this in the last episode. Abby was fighting me.
I was like, fucking hell! Like, what is this? At this point, everyone's getting Conqueror's Hakis and Ds. Like, what the fuck?
If Kid is a D, then Law might as well have Conqueror's Haki as well. So then now they're all on the same playing field. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So. But it's one of those things where if Oda does it, I won't be surprised.
It's whatever at this point. It's not something I'll be completely mad at. It will be something Oda will have to do in a specific way that makes it, interesting. But
I think I'm gonna get a Kid backstory or something.
Yeah, I think we will as well.
I think I'm gonna get a Kid backstory at some point, and I think that will probably solidify how strong it actually is eventually. Because I think Oda has possibly purposely not giving Kid that much of a limelight because he has a section for him already in mind.
I hope so.
And yeah, I hope so too, because I do really like Kid as a character, and I don't think he's been given as much shine as he should.
I want to like him. I just don't like the devil fruit still, but I want to like him. It's just he hasn't shown me anything to make me think that he's that great. So I don't understand the hype. But less ignoring Ron's anti-hype beast. Zoro did bits.
No, I did bits.
Like this chapter's already did, but then again, Luffy did just as much. Like I was just as hyped with Luffy's part as well. That came next, as I was with Zoro. Yeah. Like Luffy is my captain forever. Like I love him so much. Him and Zoro, greatest of all time. So
that was mad hype when Luffy finally grasped how to properly cope with his Conqueror's Haki, and then gave Kaido those blows, but making contact. But
that sequence was a very good sequence.
It was very good, yeah.
It was very good. And now Luffy's got the confidence to now try and take on Kaido one-on-one.
He fully said, leave it, go down, guys, leave this one to me. Oh my god. One thing Luffy is he has the audacity. Like he really does have the audacity.
He does have the audacity.
But then again, Law and Zoro couldn't do much anyway. Zoro's completely out of commission for now. I definitely think he's coming back.
I think Zoro needs rest, man. Especially, I think that taking the 2 Yonko attack as well did a lot to his body.
For sure, he's broken everything, every bone.
I think Law is taking Zoro and himself again.
To be fair, Law is a doctor, so maybe Law can...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, he's a doctor, so he's going to help him. Maybe even take him to Chopper, because that's where Zoro was originally. So he might take him back down there.
That's the thing's gonna happen. I think we're gonna take him to the bottom floor, and Chopper's gonna use Chopper and Law maybe combined, or maybe even Marco. All 3 of the doctors combined.
Yeah, I forgot Marco's a doctor.
All 3 doctors working on Zoro to save his life.
Yeah. No, I think they're gonna work with the ice fight, the ice demon virus, and create. I guess something akin to a sensu bean to give people because you know what happened to Hyogoro when he's saying when he got hit by the ice demon, and then he got a quick power up.
Oh, if he gives that to Zoro.
Yeah, and I think Zoro, Marco, and Law will be able to create one that's sustainable that doesn't actually kill you, but it gives you another. I guess it will heal you much quicker, and then that's how we're gonna get Zoro back into the fighting at some point.
That'll be sick. What else happened? That was it, right? That was the end of the chapter where Zoro was like, not Zoro, Luffy was like, leave it to me, my goat.
Yeah.